Hey, hey, hey! So I have a beauty review for you. Now, I've actually been using this for a little bit. I try really hard. I appreciate reviews when they don't just try it once and be like, oh, it's crap, or oh, it's really good. I want you to try it a couple of times, and I want you to tell me like what it worked with, what it didn't work with. I want to know all the things. So I'm not as thorough as others, but I have been trying out this Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette. It's very reflective. Now, I think this was actually the first Urban Decay palette that I got, other than the Wired palette. It might have been, it was either the Cherry palette or it was the Ultraviolet, because sis loves her some purples. But my husband is in love with cherries. He loves cherries, anything cherry, right? So I was like, I gotta have this. The color scheme is very pretty. And I have to say, I've been using it for a while. It's on my eyes today. And stuff is falling underneath my eyes. Good to know. I am trying out a new mascara. Right about as soon as I put these reviews up, I have started trying something else out. So it's interesting. It's interesting how I work. But this is the palette. And it does come with a little brush, which I actually like. I like that these palettes come with a brush because, you used to get those eyeshadow palettes from like CoverGirl or whatever, and they would come with that little stick with the sponge on it that we all love, which is why they're so popular. But, okay, let's talk about the brush first, because I feel like that's easiest. I have used this the last couple of times that I have used this palette, plus I have used it with other eyeshadows, other brands, other formulas. It's not a bad brush. I mean, the brush is pretty good, and it's also branded. It says Naked Cherry, and then I have one that says Naked Ultraviolet, and then all the Naked palettes come with their own little brush, and it's in the kind of the same color scheme as the palette, so it's really cute. The brush works pretty well. This is kind of a harder tip, more for like your crease, and then this is obviously more of like a blending brush. The brush works fine. I don't know if you can order the brush separately or how much they would charge for it. The brush is pretty good. It's not terrible. That's my rating. It's not terrible. It's not my favorite brush to use. I don't reach for those brushes all the time. I will choose other brushes over them. Luxie brushes. What is it, Jason? It's not Moda. MOTD brushes I reach for, and Farrah brushes I will reach for more than that. So, all right. So the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette. On a rating from 0 to 5, I am actually going to rate this a 4. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. I know people shit on Urban Decay all the time, and they talk about how bad these naked palettes are. And this one, the reason I'm giving this a 4 is because it is actually really pigmented. I did not use any eyeshadow primer today, and I was freaking shocked at how well the colors the colors showed up. I was trying to think of the right word. How well the colors are showing up, even without a primer. I did try it with the, what is it, Big Beauty? The little squeeze bottle that I reviewed not too long ago. I tried it with that one. Basic Beauty, maybe that's what it is. Which I love that eyeshadow primer. I do use that quite a bit. And it worked very, very well. It brought out the colors, made it last. Of course, that eyeshadow primer is really good. And I also tried it with an e.l.f. eyeshadow primer that I got, which is obviously cheaper than, the other one I got in like a BoxyCharm. So it's a more higher end. And then the e.l.f. I got at Walmart because I wanted an eyeshadow primer that had a tint to it. It's a whole long story, but I tried it with both of those to see if it worked with a high-end eyeshadow primer and a more budget-friendly, inexpensive eyeshadow primer. It worked the same on both of them. I, didn't really notice too much of a difference. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. So, I do prefer the Basic Beauty primer over the e.l.f. primer. I feel like it works better in general, but the e.l.f. primer is not bad. I've not had bad experiences with them with other brands either. I was just kind of surprised because you never know with an eyeshadow formula, Jeffree Star is one of them, because he makes brighter colors. Sometimes with the right eyeshadow primer, they will pop and they're right in your face, but then you use another kind of primer and they pop, but they're not quite as in your face. They're just not quite as bright, or maybe they don't blend as well. I've had that issue with eyeshadow primers. I think the Unique one used to do that to me, where I could blend it only so much and then it just stopped. It wouldn't do anything else. So, this performed very, very well with both of them. Like I said, I didn't use any primer today, and I was actually shocked at how well, you can actually see the veins in my eyes, see, at how well it applied, how well it blended. I do have to say, the biggest issue with this palette is that the colors in the palette are not going to be what the colors on your eye are. And I'm going to show you an example. Okay, you want to see an example? I'm going to show you an example. Okay, so we're going to go with this color right here. This one is called Feels. Okay, and I'm going to swatch that with my fingy. Okay, now you see it, and you see it kind of on my finger, just like that, right? You see how light it looked in the pan, and then how dark it's performing on my arm? Okay. So there's that one. Most of the shimmers are pretty good. I do have the shimmer on my inner corner. Some of the shimmers are pretty muted, like they're not super, super bright. The reason I'm giving this a 4 instead of like a 3 or something like that is because this is a very buildable palette. This is a good palette for somebody who wants natural looks, or who wants something very, very subtle and they want the ability to build it up. This is not for somebody who you want to pack on the pigment right away and, just like you apply it one time and boom, it's there. That I would recommend maybe Jeffree Star. Okay. Boom, it's there. But this palette I found is very buildable. The color applied, it's still pigmented, but it's not overly pigmented. This is something that I could see like my mom using. Okay, and she doesn't wear very much makeup. The only thing with this cherry palette is that it's instead of like nude colors, it's like reds and mauves and stuff. But you have your natural colors over here, and then you have your more going out for a fun night at the club over here. You can literally go from day to night with this palette. I did not buy this palette at full price. I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there. I watch sales very closely, and I have to watch our budget because our money is tight. My husband's the only one that works, so our money can get tight. So if I buy higher end things like this, instead of paying $50, I believe I got it for half price, or maybe $30 or $35. When it was on sale. I do recommend getting these on sale. I don't recommend paying full price for these, just for the simple fact of they're on sale somewhere. All of them. Every single one of them is on sale somewhere, whether it's on the Urban Decay website, whether it's on Amazon, whether it's on Ulta, Sephora, all of them are on sale somewhere. So, definitely if you want a naked palette, make sure that you do your research, look online. It's a really pretty palette. I don't know that it's something I would reach for all the time because I am more of a purples girl myself. And usually it's either purples or browns for me. But I do like the occasional pop of red. And the only reason that I choose purples or browns is because with my skin tone, if I have the wrong color of red or if it's too warm, I look sick. I look really, really sick. So, and same with like purples. If I get too of a warm tone purple that has too much red in it, I look really sick. I look like I have a black eye instead of, this elegant look. So I have to be very careful with that. But these palettes combined with the brush, I mean, it's a longer blending brush, so you can get a better blend with it. It's really nice. It's nice and soft on your eye. It's easy to use. So that's why I'm giving this palette a 4. And I know there are people who will disagree with me. That's totally okay. But for me, it's this is an go-to everyday palette. Okay, you have your everyday colors, you have your going out colors. You could do anything with this palette. So if you're looking for something that can meet all of your needs, because you don't have to combine like all the colors in one look. You can, you don't have to. But you can just wear one color, or wear 2 of them, whatever you want to do. And I like the options with palettes like these because they're so pretty and it has so many options. So let me know if you've ever tried the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette. If you did, of course, let me know if you loved it, hated it, anything down below in the comments. Like the video if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already to get notified whenever I upload a new video, because you never know what kind of content is going to pop up over here on this channel. If you're already subscribed, make sure you hit that bell icon to get notified when I upload, because you have to hit the bell. You can't just subscribe. You have to hit the bell icon because YouTube is YouTube. So we're not going to talk bad about YouTube because we love YouTube. All right. Anyway, we thank you so much for watching. We love you very, very much, and we will see you in the next one. Bye. Really?